Welcome back to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. And now let's start with the first story. It's called Schedule. A few years back I was hired as head of bar operations at a brand new 3-floor 280-seat restaurant. It was the latest opening from a big name restaurant group. Successful, yes, but mid at best. Still, it was a big gig. Shame the launch was already a total crap show. They'd fired most of the opening management before day one. Big red flag. Should have rocked, but I didn't. One of my key responsibilities was writing the bar team schedule. About 30 staff, and with one non-negotiable rule. There must always be a bar manager on duty. Simple enough. For the first few weeks, I did just that. Then came the new area manager. He promptly took rota responsibilities away from the actual managers and started micromanaging everything. He uploads his new rota, and surprise, 2 days with no bar manager scheduled. I flagged it, politely, in person. Just do your job and follow what you are given. Okay then? I followed up with an email to him, the GM and a company director, explaining the problem and even attached a corrected rota. Still trying to help. Next day I get cornered in the office. You're going above your station. You need to stick to the rota. I fixed it. The very next day is my day off. There is no manager on duty and a staffing shortage. My phone starts exploding around 8 AM. I ignore it until 2 PM. Then I finally reply. Per instructions, I follow the rota exactly. Next day, I'm summoned to a meeting. There's a witness. I'm told I'm being fired for insubordination. One problem? The area manager didn't have the authority to fire me. I didn't even report to him. Dismissal paperwork lands in my inbox. I respond that I'll be challenging the decision and attach receipts, emails, policies and all. I walked away with a pretty generous payout for unfair dismissal. A few days later, the area manager moved on from the business with immediate effect. Word is he couldn't find work through most of 2020. Guess I did my job after all. The next story is called On Time. In my job, the timekeeping system runs on 15-minute increments. Here's how it works. Clock in and out during the first 7 minutes. It rounds back to the start of that window. Clock in or out during the last 7 minutes. It rounds forward to the end of the window. If you clock in and out 4 times a day, start, lunch, return, end, that's up to 28 minutes lost or gained just from rounding. Not long after I started, I got hit with emails about being short on hours, even though I was physically at work, even working over 8 hours some days. The system said otherwise. Their solution was to burn my PTO to cover the missing minutes, lose time off for being on time. Here's the twist. We don't get paid overtime in cash. Instead, we earn 1.5 times PTO for overtime. 1 hour of overtime equals 1.5 hours of paid time off. So I got strategic. I started timing my punches to always fall on the side that adds minutes. Just by gaming the 15-minute rule, I now average 28 extra minutes per day. This means 140 minutes per week, which turns into 3.5 hours of PTO every single week. All totally by the book. All because they told me to watch my punches. The third story is called New Rules. I work for a major US airline and have done so for a long time, across several airports. One of the jobs I've had is in the bag sorting area, the place behind the counter where checked bags go before being loaded onto planes. We are on our feet most of the day, but each workstation has a chair so we can sit for a minute during slow stretches. Totally reasonable, right? Well, every few years some hotshot new manager rolls in with dreams of turning this airport around, and somehow they always land on the same brilliant idea. Let's take away the chairs. That will boost productivity. The excuse? It's a safety hazard. Someone could trip, but we had a solution for that. See, small or awkward bags come down in plastic tubs to keep them from jamming the belt. Normally we take them off and stack them on the ground for someone to collect. But now? Sorry boss. You said items on the floor are a tripping hazard, so we let them pile up on the belt. The poor guy tasked with collecting them was fighting a plastic tub avalanche and complaining non-stop to the manager, who got exactly what he asked for. We pulled out the employee handbook. It clearly spells out our job expectations. Pull 1 bag per minute. Unload bags no later than 20 minutes before flight departure. That's it. What the handbook doesn't say? The fact that we usually work way faster than that to keep flights on time. So we stopped. 1 bag per minute. Stop work exactly 20 minutes out. Delays across the board. Supervisors throwing bags. New manager screaming. We are unionized, so we documented every single incident of abuse. The airline had to pay out thousands in grievance claims. And that day 1500 bags missed their flights. Guess what was back the next morning? Yep, our shares. Business as usual resumed. The new manager never earned anyone's respect again. Eventually the handbook was updated to say 35 minutes instead of 20. But the 1 bag per minute rule still stands. I've lived through 3 of these chair removal crusades over the years, but this one was by far the most satisfying. The last story is called Review Everything. I've been working at a small marketing agency for just over a year. It's my first real job out of college, and I was thrilled to finally have actual clients and responsibilities. That is, until Debbie showed up. Debbie came from one of those mega corporate agencies, where they apparently micromanaged the living daylights out of everyone. From day one, she had concerns about my communication style. Never mind that clients had praised me for being helpful and responsive. Then, one day, I sent what I thought was a routine, polite email to our biggest client about a minor scheduling shift. Cue, emergency meeting. From now on, Debbie announced with that fake, helpful manager smile, I need to approve all client communications before they go out. Emails, texts, phone call notes, agendas, everything. I calmly pointed out this would slow things down. Better to be right than fast, she replied, waving her hand like a queen dismissing a peasant. Starting that very afternoon, I sent Debbie every single thing. A client asked what time a call was. Hi Debbie, here's my proposed response. The call is at 2 p.m. EST. Please approve. Client texted for a file. Screenshot. Please approve my response. Sure, here's the file. I even made a special folder called Awaiting Debbie's Approval and set up an automated counter. Day 1, 17 requests. End of week 1, over 100. And the phone didn't answer. Let it go to voicemail, then emailed Debbie. Client X called about Y. My proposed response is attached. Please approve. Within 2 weeks, Debbie was drowning. Clients weren't getting replies. Debbie couldn't keep up with approvals. And now she was getting escalated emails from clients herself. The breaking point? Our biggest client emailed both of us, complaining about delays. I replied, I forwarded your concerns to Debbie for approval of my response. Once approved, I'll get back to you promptly. The next morning, Debbie shuffled over to my desk looking absolutely wrecked. I think we need to adjust our approval process, she mumbled. Just use your judgment for normal stuff. Only send me things about scope, timelines, or budgets. Are you sure? I asked sweetly. I've got about 30 drafts waiting for your review right now. She physically winced. That won't be necessary anymore. It's been 2 weeks of bliss since that little policy change. I'm back to doing my job. Efficiently, competently, and without bottlenecks. Debbie barely makes eye contact in the hallway, which, honestly, is a bonus. My quarterly review is coming up, and I have receipts for everything. Proof I followed protocol to the letter. Sometimes malicious compliance isn't just satisfying. It's the best way to teach a lesson corporate nonsense can seem to learn. Thanks for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. Also, if you want to support me further, check out the channel membership or Patreon. And now, I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.